Sein einziger Charakter ist Level 21. Habe ich 2 Stunden geschrieben? Ich bereue es jetzt schon wieder. Nicht ein Live-Skill auf Anfänger 2. Der hat gar nichts von dem Spiel gesehen. Gar nichts, Bro. Also das Video heißt The Shocking State of Black Desert Online in 2023. Mal gucken, was er sagt. This time for Wakayashi.
Over the past couple of years, I've played a wide variety of MMORPGs, but there's one in particular I just haven't got round to trying yet. And it's not like I've never heard of this game before, because people have mentioned it in my comments section over and over again.
Die, you fucking seagull, bitch, fucking.
And in my recent video where I talked about the MMORPGs I've played this year, the comment section was once again subject to a barrage of "you should play BDO."
Fucking.
And just to give you full clarity and disclosure, I was actually offered money to play BDO back when they had their latest expansion. However, I kind of didn't do it, not because I thought it was a scam, but because I have integrity. Yeah, that's exactly why. I did, however, buy BDO during the Steam sale with full intention to play and review it. So that's what I've done. However, I will put in a slight disclaimer, and that is that I don't have 500 hours of playtime in Black Desert Online.
Wait, he's a casual fucking dog. Yeah, he's only put 300 hours into the video game. How can he possibly be able to have an opinion about it?
Digga, danke! Digga, Asmongold hat die gleiche Meinung wie ich. Wenn du als Pisser keine 300 Stunden in ein Spiel rein investiert hast, vor allem in eine MMO-Kategorie, dann darfst du keine Meinung haben. Du darfst keine Meinung haben. Minimum 300 Stunden. Heißt warum? Vielen Dank für den Resub in 27 Monaten. Danke dir. Asmongold hat es aus Troll gesagt. Nein, in meiner Welt nicht. In meiner Welt meint das ernsthaft.
This video is a first impressions video, but I will do my best to cover as much of this game as I possibly can, whilst also trying to give a fair and honest opinion. And with that, let's jump into it. Okay, so let's start with the basics. It is indeed a MMORPG. We tend to play a lot of those on this channel. Oh yeah, friendly reminder, if you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe. Oh, and if you like this, obviously, please leave a like. This game was initially released to the Eastern market in 2015 and then to the Western market in 2016. And I have to say, for a game that is almost 10 years old, it looks pretty spectacular, especially when you compare it to similar games such as Final Fantasy XIV. It's based in a high fantasy land and revolves around a conflict between two rival nations. And it is well known for having a specific draw to the game.
Armor, characters, creatures, objects, spell effects, and most importantly, the oversized, fantasy-driven
art style. BDO is available on PC and console, but not only that, it does allow cross-platform play. One of the biggest draws to the game was its PvP combat, but in recent times it's been focusing more on the PvE side of things. So straight away I'm getting a kind of sense of they're trying to cater for everyone, and we all know how that ends up. It's been focusing more on the PvE side of things. So straight away I'm getting a kind of sense of they're trying to cater for everyone, and we all know how that ends up.
New World players are abandoning the game a month after launch.
Why did I make that joke? I'm just going to regret it. There's going to be someone doing a 10-paragraph essay as to why New World is actually thriving. I hate my life. But anyway, that's enough about the basics. Let's take a look at the actual gameplay. So like any great MMORPG, we have to talk about the character creation screen. And BDO does not let us down. I don't understand what's going on. I'm Batman. Yeah, I don't think I want to be a woman. No offense, but I just want to be chat up by like a 14-year-old weeb. There are 26 different classes to choose from on BDO. And furthermore, these classes are gender locked. 9 being male and 17 being female. For the most part, each class is human, even though they have deer people and whatever the fuck this thing is. Oh, and they do have this one class which gives me a weird vibe.
I'm getting the word Nuts.
Anyone who mains this class is definitely a predator
Nee,
of some
Otter, ne?
sort.
War
I
ein
can
Otter,
see
glaub ich.
why the BDO character creator gets a lot of praise, but personally, I found Arcade to be slightly more in depth. Mainly because I get to be a small, fat, ugly, bald man, whereas this just
War das Elion? Oder was ist das?
mainly because I get to be
Arc Age. Ah.
a small, fat, ugly, bald man, whereas this just makes me feel like my male character is just a member of a K-pop
Hat's gesagt.
more in depth. Mainly because I get to be a small, fat, ugly, bald man, whereas this just makes me feel like my
Hat das Spiel erwähnt? Nö, hör ich nicht.
is definitely a predator of some sort. I can see why the BDO character creator gets a lot of praise, but personally, I found Arcade to be slightly
Arc Age. Ah, doch, okay.
more in depth. Mainly because I get to be a small, fat, ugly, bald man, whereas this just makes me feel like my male character is just a member of a K-pop band.
I like turtles.
One of the biggest draws to this game is the combat. It is just fluid in the way that it works, and it just feels very reactive to what you are doing. It doesn't feel slow, it doesn't feel clunky, it actually feels like it's responsive to the buttons that you are pushing. If you don't want me to kill any more puppies, then please leave 69 likes. You have been warned. Perfect. Add that to every YouTube video going forward. I love the way that you can chain moves together. It almost feels like you're doing a combo on Tekken. I see why people like this game, honestly. So much replayability. The skill tree also has a variety of moves to choose from, which means gameplay isn't going to be boring. You are going to have to make decisions further on down when you level up and choose a certain style of play. Typical of any MMORPG, there are different armor sets to choose from, and each one will give you different attributes or different bonuses.
Der spielt auf einer Xbox und macht ein First Impression Review. Also den dürft ihr gerne in meinem Namen beleidigen, Leute.
There are also a variety of life skills that you can go away and master, such as cooking, crafting, alchemy, fishing, all the fun stuff, you know, all the typical MMO stuff.
Digga, die auf der Konsole lassen ihre Konsole laufen und gehen hier fischen in Velia. Für 2 Millionen in 5 Stunden. Die dürft ihr alle beleidigen jetzt.
Sadly though, I wish I could heap more praise in this game, but quite honestly, I've not been having the best first impression. The best thing about this game
Weißt du nicht, Exedilus? Und ich bitte dich ab sofort mit diesem Spam aufzuhören. Ich will diese Spams nicht mehr haben, ja? Bitte hör auf damit. Das ist super penetrant. Bitte. Und du weißt es auch nicht. Du sagst safe. Das heißt, du hast auch genauso wenig Ahnung.
is the combat, and that's pretty much where it ends. As new player experiences go, this has probably been one of the worst.
How dare you say that? I will defend my lady at all costs.
Now, this isn't my first rodeo, so I know full well someone with 1,000 hours is going to comment on this video and tell me that I'm just playing the game wrong, I just need to get better, or something along those lines. But I just want people to keep in mind, this is a new player perspective.
Wieso spielt man freiwillig auf PC mit Controller? Noch dazu mit einem Xbox-Controller.
But most importantly,
That's my opinion!
so without any further delay, let me tell you the problem with Black Desert Online.
The problem with Black Desert Online. Er denkt, er könnte mit 2 Stunden Gameplay schon über Probleme von BDO sprechen. Okay, ich bin neugierig. Also, hat vielleicht 10 Stunden maximal gespielt und sagt hier schon, seiner Meinung nach gibt es Probleme mit BDO. Was sind die Probleme mit BDO? Lass mich raten. Overwhelmed.
A lot of you will think this is the part where I talk about monetization, the gambling in the game, the RNG being trash. But it's actually something more simpler than that. The fact is, On the very first time I loaded this game up, I can see there was going to be problems. And let me show you why. One of my biggest gripes with the game is that I've changed the resolution so many times, and yet I still have this problem. What the fuck is this?
UI? UI? Hallo Gammelfighter. Hallo Hustensaft. Ist UI, ne?
For whatever reason, the display settings on this game are just super fucky, and I mean that in more ways than one. I have spent more time trying to get the resolution to work than I have actually playing the game. But not only that, it goes one step further, which is when you play the game, the UI is fucking terrible. Now, part of the problem is I'm trying to use a controller to play this game.
Das ist ja schon das Problem.
And bear in mind, this game has been ported to console, so by all means, it should be smooth as anything. But it's not. It's fucking awful.
Well, that was fucking dreadful.
And even though I've gone full controller pleb, it will still display settings as if I have a keyboard, which means I don't know how to change this option. And furthermore, I don't have the options to change keybinds. Like, why? I have tried to neaten up my display and it does look slightly better than what...
Aber so sein erstes Problem mit BDO ist, dass er für seine Controller gesteuerte Option, die er gewählt hat, Alternative auf dem PC, dass sie nicht perfekt umgesetzt wurde. Das ist sein erster Punkt. Dass er auf einem PC-Spiel Probleme hat, mit dem Controller zu spielen. Das ist sein erster Punkt.
What was there before? And
Hello,
I have heard people say, obviously, if you use mouse and keyboard, it's a lot better. Bear in mind, I'm a new player, and yet they just flood me with alerts. Pointless shit which doesn't affect my game. And as a new player trying to learn how to play...
Overwhelming? Das ist doch schon overwhelmed, oder?
This doesn't help me. This makes me want to uninstall. And even with pointless shit which doesn't affect my game. And as a new player trying to learn how to play...
Also erster Punkt, der in Richtung Overwhelming geht. Ich bin mir sicher, da werden wir noch ein bisschen mehr davon sehen. Moment. Also lass uns mal weiter gucken.
This doesn't help me. This makes me want to uninstall. And even with all this fuckery to one side, it still gets worse. Next up on the list is questing. And I know this is going to be quite controversial considering this is a MMORPG. This is the bit that should be fun and exciting to do, and yet here I am saying it's a problem. Also, I love the fact that
Zu viele Quests, zweiter Punkt, der in Richtung Overwhelming geht, Leute.
The character's mouth keep moving, even though they're not actually saying anything, so it gives like an impression of a really badly dubbed like karate film.
Hey, who's he?
I don't know.
Fundamentally, all MMORPGs have a tutorial phase where you
Have a tutorial. Oh, bad tutorial. Oh, bad
go
tutorial.
here, fetch something, go there, fetch something else, maybe kill some mobs in between. However, with Black Desert Online, it seems like there's a lot of talking and not much action.
Bad tutorial, würde ich sagen, oder?
Do you see those hungry wolves stalking about in the grass?
Oh, no.
Horses won't budge thanks to that scary lot.
Yeah,
Sir Roig may appear like he's not watching, but he sees all. So this is the time to show your stuff, my friend.
Alright, I'm gonna go kill a bunch of doggos. Oh, they're gonna attack me. Oh, that was well.
Weren't you an excavator? I thought you'd get eaten live.
Honestly, at this point, I think the game's just mocking me. And worse still, there's countless quests after this which basically have the same plot.
Ich wäre auch für Bad Tutorial, aber egal, gucken wir weiter.
Do you see those?
Er beschwert sich indirekt über das Tutorial. Ja, genau, so habe ich das auch verstanden. Egal, komm, machen wir jetzt noch weiter.
Hungry wolves stalking about in the grass.
And worse still, there's countless quests after this which basically have the same plot. Go kill or something, that something is really easy to kill and usually stand still without fighting back, and then you get more dialogue. Such great fun. One of the strongest assets of this game is the combat, and yet I'm spending more time playing some really cheesy, outdated RPG because there's nothing engaging about what's going on, because I'm not having the opportunity to go and do stuff. It's just talking. Also, shout out to the UI again. Great job on selecting a cursor which is very visible and can clearly show what option you're choosing when speaking to NPCs. Obviously, I'm at a low level still, so take this with a pinch of salt, but for me,
Level 16.
it doesn't make this game feel like a MMO. It makes it feel like a solo RPG with just other players inhabiting my world, occasionally running past me. And I think the worst thing is, every time I've played this game, I've been given the advice of just grind to max level, don't worry about the story, skip past it. But it's an MMORPG, aren't I supposed to enjoy the story? Isn't that the whole point in playing these sorts of games? When
Bro, wer spielt bitte MMOs für Story?
choosing a server, I went for the obvious one, the one with more XP and for novices, but it's so dumbed down that it's honestly brain dead.
Ja, Dragon Skull, deswegen spielst du auch kein BDO. Weil du so gestrickt bist. Danke für die Bestätigung.
Fucking content. The only thing that really kept me playing that little bit longer was when I eventually came up against a mini boss, and then I started to appreciate the combat once again. I actually got to use combos and have to block and dodge, and it actually felt like I might die at some points because I had to pop a potion once or twice. And you know what? I liked this. I thought this was great. I wanted more of this. But you know what I got instead? More pointless, irrelevant fetch quests and enemies which just didn't pose a threat whatsoever. I generally...
Also ich finde, wir könnten beides ankreuzen. Also so irgendwie da einen Kreis machen und da ein X machen. Und am Ende No Groups, ne? Weil er ja gesagt hat, Solo-RPG. No Groups auch. Er meinte ja Solo-RPG, ja genau. Also ich würde das Ganze so fast haben. Ich meine, wir haben am Ende kein Tic-Tac-Toe. Lass uns mal den Rest angucken.
I think this game has a lot of potential. And I think if you're willing to grind through the early stages, ignore the storyline, and use mouse and keyboard and optimize the fuck out of that UI, then there is a chance that you might actually enjoy this title. From a
Eine Chance. Nur dann existiert eine Chance, dass du das Spiel genießt.
personal perspective, alarm bells start going off when they can't even get stuff like the display settings to work, or even have a decent UI. Why would I invest any more time in a title which can't even get the basics right? I've already spent 8 years playing a MMO with great PvP, but lacks in other areas, and it's not fulfilling. It doesn't make me want to play the game more, it just makes me want to find a better game to play. If they focus more on optimizing the game and making it more user-friendly, especially noob-friendly, then sure, maybe I'll give it another go. But to me, it seems like they just want to spend their money on promotion as opposed to actually improving the game. Hence why every content creator done a video back in May, June. But hey, listen, if you think I'm being too harsh or maybe I missed some important steps, by all means, comment below. Let me know what I missed out on or what I could have done better. Maybe next year I'll accept the sponsor and I will review Black Desert Online again. Maybe they'll change my mind with money. But until then, I'm gonna go play Guild Wars 2 because I said in my last video,
How about spending more than 2 hours to give a review, especially in the MMORPG Kategorie? Mir scheißegal, Bro. Dieser Maulwurf wird halt direkt exposed, Bro. Der wird halt direkt raus hier. Da habe ich gar keinen Bock drauf, Mann. Bro, was ist das denn für ein Typ, Mann? Er sagt, ja, wenn sie es noobfreundlicher machen und diesen Anfang besser fixen. Bro, Digga, jedes MMO ist doch gleich Müll in den ersten paar Stunden. Wer hat denn bitte Bock auf die ersten paar Stunden in MMO? Niemand. Wenn ich an den Anfang eines MMOs denke, so, was nicht jetzt, sag mal, wie jetzt zum Beispiel New World. New World wurde damals im Global Release released. So, alle gehen rein, niemand hat Ahnung, so, weißt du, und wir versuchen uns alle da durchzukämpfen, durch diesen Dschungel, so bam, bam, mit Machete und versuchen da durchzukommen. Aber in einem bestehenden MMO, Digga, wer hat denn da bitte Bock? Wer hat da Bock? Also ich selber habe keinen Bock auf ein bestehendes MMO, auf die Early-Phase. So, trotzdem kämpft man sich da durch, man presst die Arschbacken zusammen und geht da durch und versucht halt da irgendwie klarzukommen. Aber Digga, Bro, du kannst doch nicht sagen, Digga, das, was er gesagt hat, fällt unter jeden Titel. Jedes Spiel ist am Anfang, finde ich persönlich, also gerade, insbesondere MMO-Kategorie, müllhaft. 2 Stunden, sein Max-Level war für 18. Das waren 20 Minuten. Stimmt, wir können ja mal sein Level überprüfen, wie weit er gekommen ist. Kein Problem. Wir haben ja hier unser Tool. Plopperton. NA. Sein einziger Charakter ist Level 21. Habe ich 2 Stunden geschrieben? Ich bereue es jetzt schon wieder. Nicht ein Live-Skill auf Anfänger 2. Der hat gar nichts von dem Spiel gesehen. Gar nichts, Bro. Ach Mann, diese YouTuber kotzen mich an, Leute. Wirklich, diese Art von YouTube-Videos kotzen mich an. Ich kann nicht mehr.